Trev's Hockey Show. I'm the Trev. It's too sweet. Anyway, continuing on with my division predictions for the 2025-26 NHL season, and we're at the point where I like to call these next two the weaker divisions, and it almost pains me to say weak and Metro division in the same sentence. But the Metropolitan, I'm not going to lie, has gotten pretty weak since 2018. Now, I mentioned 2018 because that's the last time this division has seen a Stanley Cup. That was when your boy Ovi was helping the Capitals win it. But it's not to say that there's no big question marks or anything that might cause a lot of people to overthink, especially when it comes to a prediction sense. And, maybe that's what I might have done here. But at the same token, with this division prediction and the next, the theme of these seems to be, no matter how much I want to say I'm locked, I'm not 100% sure I'm locked. Now, this one I don't think will be locked on the fly. I think I'm pretty set in my picks, but I'm going to share mine with you. Feel free to let me know what you think of my picks. If you think I'm out to lunch, if you think I'm spot on, let me know. I'd love to see even your predictions, how they would go. But either way, here's your 2025-26 Metropolitan Division predictions. Let's talk about it. Now, I'm not going to lie. Between 1 to 3, as solid as they might seem, they could still be question marks and if they're in the right place. 4 to 8, it's debatable who finishes where, but I think between 8 and 7, that's pretty much a lock. Everything else is subjective. But if we don't remember, if we need a refresher, here's how the Metropolitan Division looked last season. And, well, for better or worse, going from 8 to 1, here's how I'm predicting the Metro Division to finish. So, if my earlier videos, my 10 bold predictions and my 10 teams to watch video wasn't enough, this is my official prediction. Pittsburgh is finishing 8th in the Metro, and not only are they finishing 8th, they're finishing last overall in the league, 32 of 32, and it's not by coincidence. I don't think they're intentionally going to tank, knowing that Gavin McKenna is going to be number 1. But I think they're tanking by necessity. Not so much even by necessity, by circumstance. Just because every team ahead of them, be it in this division, this Eastern Conference, or in the league, they're playing a lot better than Pittsburgh is. And it sounds weird to say that with a team that has Sidney Crosby and Evgeny Malkin and Chris Letang and Erik Karlsson as their core 4, quote-unquote. But you got to remember, Crosby and Malkin and Letang, they're getting up there in terms of years. And, well, Karlsson hasn't really, in my mind, hasn't really fit in to the Pittsburgh style of play. And, it goes without saying, how long do you hold on to your core and sacrifice winning? So the big question mark I have is, what does this core 4 look like? And what does this roster look like come trade deadline or even the end of the season? Because I think I said it in my bold predictions, the core 4 is not staying intact. Add in new head coach, new philosophy on things, and maybe Anthony Mantha gets to play a full, healthy season. And on top of that, between Letang and Karlsson, you don't got much on defense to speak of. And what version of Tristan Jarry are you getting this year? Obviously, in my mind, not a good one, and not one that's going to get you to winning the division. And we're not going too far with their cross-state rivals, the Philadelphia Flyers. Now, I like some of the moves Philadelphia made in the offseason. Picking up a coach like Rick Tocchet, I still have my opinion and thoughts about Rick Tocchet as a coach, but coming off of the seasons he had in Vancouver, this could be the change the Flyers need. So, you never know if you're going to be right or wrong when it comes to the Flyers and picking them in a divisional placement. But I like the move of picking up Zegras in the offseason. Throw him with Michkov. Oh, you got solid 1-2 dynamite right there. It could make Zegras a better player getting out of that Anaheim system. Bringing in a guy like Christian Dvorak to add to the depth doesn't hurt. And signing a goalie like Dan Vladar, you're taking your pick on that one, but Philly's going in the right direction. It's not outside the realm of possibility to think that they could even finish 6th, but I think, being they're still navigating the rebuild and still kind of figuring out what works for them, 7th is a solid pick. Now, throwing the Islanders at number 6, I'm not solidly sold on them being number 6, but at the same token, can they play any worse than the Flyers? I mean, their future looks bright. Picking up Matthew Schaefer in the first round, following that up with Aitchison and Eklund, your future's looking good, but you're more worried about the present, right? And I mean, outside Barzal and Horvat, I mean, Sorokin is a great goalie, but the winning seasons are not coming to him, at least not easily. Gotta remember, this was a team that went to the Eastern Conference Finals in 2020 and 2021. Now they're still fighting for a playoff spot and gaining good traction again in the Metro. I'd like to think as good a coach as Patrick Roy is, he can pull out more out of a current version of the Islanders, and maybe a coach like Patrick Roy will do great for a guy like Matthew Schaefer. But I think it'll be sometime, and maybe a coach or two later, before the Islanders really gain some serious traction. Like I said, they're too busy worrying about the future and building now. But who's not to say that, next season the Islanders come and surprise us all, which is never a bad hope, right? Now, pick number 5, I think, is very interchangeable with number 4, depending on how number 4's season go. But we're sticking with Columbus on this one. I mean, a team that only missed the playoffs by 2 points in the last couple of days of the regular season. That sting's gotta hurt. But it's not to say that they're not defeated. I mean, their young core right now looks really, really good between Fantilli, Johnson, Voronkov, and Marchenko. If you throw in a healthy Sean Monahan, if you get Werenski to play like the Norris Trophy Canada defenseman he played like last season, and do the same thing over again, maybe even better, that's great. I mean, Merzlikins is a solid goalie, but adding Jet Greaves to this equation, that could be very, very good in terms of Columbus and goaltending, which has obviously been a hard pill for them to swallow, or at least a hard spot for them to fill since goalie Bob left town. But the biggest thing they need this season is scoring. And that's ultimately what kept him out of the playoffs last season, was lack of scoring. Hopefully this season, that changes. So again, this one's very interchangeable depending on what they do. But number 4, and predicting a wild card here, the New York Rangers. Now, this is obviously not the same Rangers team from last season. Kreider's gone. They have a new coach behind the bench in Mike Sullivan, who knows how to win Stanley Cups. He's won 2 in a row back when he was Pittsburgh. And, hopefully this helps turn the ship around in New York. I mean, naming JT Miller the captain, that's not a bad move either. I mean, JT Miller, since coming back from Vancouver, he did great things in New York. He kept them competitive at the end of the season. So hopefully this is a step in the right direction. Adding Gavrikov to fill the void left by trading Keandre Miller, great addition. Shesterkin, though. Shesterkin needs to play like we know Shesterkin can play like. I mean, on paper, the Rangers roster looks solid. It's just a matter of execution. And can the Rangers do what we know they can do? Can they figure out the Panarin problem before it becomes a problem? And let's see how they do. I mean, I'm hopeful for the Rangers as much as I despise them. I'm hopeful for them. And while I'd like to pick the Capitals to repeat in winning the Metro Division, I honestly am not sure that's going to happen, given the 2 teams ahead of them. I mean, nobody expected Washington to win the Metro last season. But again, I think the Capitals were driven a lot by Ovi and the Great Chase, and now that's over. Now it's time to get back to the playoffs, maybe even make a solid run. I'm not predicting playoffs right now. I'm not predicting cup finalists right now. I'm only predicting divisions. But it's got to be one of those things with Ovechkin in the last year of his contract, possibly retiring at the end of the season, at least retiring from the NHL. Do they want to see how far they can go to give him a cup on the way out? I mean, Thompson played amazing given the season he had last season. Dylan Strome had a career year, but playing with Ovechkin and Tom Wilson, became a very offensively minded guy. And thanks to playing with Strome and Ovechkin, he had a great season as well. Now, losing Mangiapane and Eller, It doesn't hurt the cause, doesn't help the cause. I mean, with Mangiapane, you're losing a depth forward. But I think for the Caps anyways, they have the tools to at least make a solid playoff push. So finishing number 2 in the division, I got New Jersey. So now that they got the Luke Hughes problem taken care of and got him signed long term, we can look at what they actually added to the team in the offseason, which on paper doesn't look like much, but you did add Dadonov and Connor Brown to improve your bottom 6, to help your secondary scoring. That's never a bad thing. You got Timo Meier, you got Jack Hughes. Provided both of them can stay healthy, they'll have great seasons. You got Nico Hischier turning into one of the better defensive forwards in the league, possibly even, a candidate for the Frank Selke Trophy. But I'm not predicting trophies. Jersey, they could be scary good, especially with guys like Jack Hughes and Nico Hischier. It's a solid 1-2, and they're both known for putting up good points in clutch time. Jersey could be a sleeper pick this season. So winning the Metropolitan Division, I have the Carolina Hurricanes. And really, it's not hard to see why. Essentially, it's the same team with some good additions. Picking up Nikolai Ehlers to help out on the scoring, never a bad thing. Picking up Keandre Miller to beef up your defense, never a bad thing. Having a full year with Logan Stankoven, to go with Seth Jarvis, to go with that whole team in general. I mean, in net with Freddie Anderson and Peter Kochetkov, and yeah, they're only getting better. I mean, Anderson might be getting older. Kochetkov is going to get better. And who knows how far Carolina can go. They might even be in top 2, top 3 in terms of league standing is concerned. That's how good I think the season they're going to have. Solid playoff contender, solid playoff push, but I'm not predicting playoffs right now. Either way, Carolina's winning this Metro Division. As much as it looks like other teams could make the push, it's all Carolina. So that was my 2025-26 Metropolitan Division predictions. Give me your thoughts. Let me know your predictions. Let me know if you think I'm out to lunch. Let me know if I'm spot on. I'd love to hear it. So that's another one of them Trev's Hockey Shows. I want to thank you for tuning in. Don't think I don't appreciate the gesture, especially if you've made it to this point. If you've made it to this point, you're at the end. And that's awesome. You're helping out the watch time immensely. And that's never a bad thing. But if you've made it to this point, if you're digging what I'm doing, you just want to say, hey, throw me that thumbs up. Trust me, that helps this channel out a long way. We're making that push to 500 by the end of the year. We're almost at 350. We're so close, I can taste it. Let's see if we can help this guy out along the way. If you want to, if you haven't done so by now, that red button, that one says subscribe all over it. Feel free to hit that. You know you want to. I know you want to. The algorithm knows you want to. So why deny yourself a good thing, right? Right. If you really want, that link in my description below, that'll take you to my Facebook page. Feel free to join that. I'd love to build the audience there like I'm building the audience here. I'm posting frequently. I'm interactive on other posts. Feel free to join me there. I'd love to turn that completely interactive. So moving forward, I got one more division to go. And some might call it the weakest division in the league. My boys are there, but I'm not, or early spoiler, it's not going to go well. But either way, in the meantime, and in between time, be looking forward to some Trev. Data.